A storm system has already cut a frozen path across central Canada. The temperature in some places plunging below -20. But take Ottawa. Yesterday, it held the title of the coldest capital city in the world.
What's up, everybody? I'm Rick.
And I'm Anna.
And today we're going to do something a little bit different. You only had one winter here, and so
Yes.
I wanted to sit you down and talk to you about your first winter in Canada, and maybe that would be useful for the people watching at home, preparing for maybe their first winter in Montreal.
Come have fun with us and don't forget to subscribe.
And we've been doing a lot of videos on this channel about things that you can do in Montreal, things that you can see in Montreal. But sometimes, when you're preparing for your next adventure, it's not only about what can you do and what can you see. It's also about how can you prepare for the weather.
Yes, that matters so much every time you go somewhere, anywhere you go.
And in Montreal, the weather is a big thing. In Canada in general, the weather is a big thing, especially during the winter. And I thought we could have a conversation with you because you have a very unique perspective. You've only been here for a bit more than a year, and so you've been through one winter. So you have the perspective of someone unlike me who's been destroyed and jaded by winter over the years.
No, I would say just like prepare through life. Went to the trial of fire.
We're at the verge of winter starting again here. It's December. You could even say it has already begun.
It kind of already started,
It's cold.
It's been here since the end of last month already.
Yeah. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to go back to last year.
Yeah.
Last year, at this period in time, December, end of November, when winter was beginning to show up his little face.
And I was so young and naive. I had
Yes.
no idea.
Exactly. I want to go back to that point in time. Put yourself in that mindset.
I don't have to try too hard.
Yes.
I mean, it was only 1 year ago. I remember very well.
And tell me, and tell the people at home, what were your first impression?
So, first thing I want to say is that when I said that I was so unprepared, I'm not kidding. I had no idea what to expect. Or rather, I thought I knew what to expect, but then it took me by surprise because I came here with my winter coat from Romania that I had to ditch by the end of November because it was not warm enough.
Yeah, and I guess this is something that we should mention where you come from originally. You come from Romania.
Right.
And you have winter in Romania.
Right now, before I used to say, yes, we have winter. Now I'm like, kind of. But we do have winter, yes.
But it's not a tropical
nearly.
country, where it's
we
warm
have
out,
we have 4 seasons.
Yeah. And so you had a certain idea of what winter could be like. You came here and you say you were unprepared. Your winter coat was not enough?
It was hardly enough.
Huh?
Like I said, by the end of November, it was already maybe first week of December. It was fine, and then I had to buy a winter jacket here. It's it makes all the difference. Not only just that, but in general, all the things that I came with that I thought were fine for winter, even my hats, my gloves, everything. It's it doesn't work the same way here. It's not the same thing.
But were you afraid by that? Huh?
So I wasn't afraid, I mean, it's cold. You think you just stand through it if you're well dressed, if you're well, prepared. It's not gonna kill you. It didn't kill me. But I was taken by surprise. And I realized very quickly that I need to prepare for it much better. That otherwise I will not be able to get out of the house, basically.
Yeah. So that was the beginning. Yeah. But winter is much more than those first few weeks of December and that end of November. It goes on here for months and months and months and months and months.
Expect a long, cold, dreary winter. How's that for a headline?
Many Canadians can expect this winter season. We're expecting a long, cold, and snowy season ahead for many.
So, as it went on, did your mindset change? Can you tell me a bit more about that?
So I have to tell you, I do find that it does wear you down a bit. because not only that it's much colder, or to me, not only that it was much colder than what I was used to before, but it also doesn't end, like you said, for a very long time. So it does wear you down. Another big difference is the humidity, which actually makes it feel very different than the kind of winter that we have, that I was used to back in Romania. And that again makes it actually even worse. The humidity makes it feel even colder. It, like, gets into your clothes. You can feel it even if you're well dressed. Sometimes you can feel it in your clothes, that humidity, that cold humidity. But it's something that you just basically have to get used to, I suppose, because really there's no fixing it. As well as the length of it. It's just something that you have to kind of push through. But I don't want to only speak about the bad stuff. It was also nice. Like, you get all the snow.
Yeah, so we've been
the
going
snow.
a lot about like negative aspect of winter, but like winter is also a beautiful season. Lots of stuff to do. Can you tell me a bit more about what did you like during your first winter here in Canada?
Well, obviously the snow, because we do have snow in Romania, but not nearly as much as here. In the cities, if you get 1 or 2 weeks of snow, that's usually about it. Like during the whole winter, if you want to get snow, you have to go to the mountains. But here you can just go to a park and play in the snow, and that's something really fun. Like, for me, it was really exciting. I really enjoyed it. We went, what was it called? Cross country skiing.
Yeah.
Yes. Also on Mont Royal in the park. So yeah, there are actually a lot of nice things that you can do in the winter. It can be playful. It can be nice, as long as you're prepared.
Howling winds, biting cold, and near whiteout conditions. None of it was enough to keep visitors to Old Montreal from taking in the sights.
So those are the stuff you like. You've already talked a little about the things that you disliked. Now that you're maybe like at the verge of a second winter here, and you're looking back on it as we're having this conversation, what would you say your thoughts are looking back? Like, was it nice? Was it something that you're...
Yes, overall, I
Yeah?
would say I enjoyed it. I really did. I'm sure I will enjoy this winter too. I mean, it's not like I have a choice, but I mean, to skip it. But I think that, there are a lot of things that you can do here in the winter. And also I think that because the fact that the winter is the way it is, actually in Montreal, there are a lot of things that you can do in the winter. Like, there's events, there's that downtown festival kind of thing.
Yeah, so a lot of what we do here on this channel is to try to show people stuff that you can do, stuff that you can see around the country, but in Montreal, because we're living in Montreal right now. And as you're saying, there are stuff to do, there are stuff to see in Montreal.
Yes, exactly.
Even in the winter. The city is not dead.
Yeah, it's not. It's very much alive.
Yeah. And so some of those activities you mentioned, skiing, we went skiing. There are festivals still going on during the winter.
Winter sports festival or event that we went to actually last year too.
Oh yeah, I remember you did some snowboarding on a small hill. Yeah. Would you say those were your favorite part of the winter, or are there any other activities that you can...
Yes, obviously, it's really nice because, as I said, back home, to enjoy winter activities, you can't really do it in a city. You have to go to the mountains where, there are special places set up for that. But here you can just do it, in the park, in the downtown area. And that's really, it's very entertaining. It's, it keeps you more active in the winter, rather than having to stay inside. You have options. Yeah. You have things to do.
And as you're preparing for your second winter here...
Yep, got my coat, got my boots.
Exactly. So is there anything that you're doing differently, that you're thinking about more this time around?
Well, I can't say I'm doing anything that much different. I'm just... I got used... I know how to get dressed. To be able to go outside and not freeze. But more than that, like it's really not that hard. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get a warm drink. The obvious things.
And finally, do you have some piece of advice for the people at home who might be going into their first winter and who are maybe scared or anxious about it?
Right. So, if you're coming on vacation during the winter here, basically just, make sure that you get the warmest clothes that you can get. I would even go as far as advising like snow boots, like skiing jackets, things like this. Even if you're only going to be in the city, you actually might need them. If you come here, like if you move here from another country like I did, maybe don't even bother to try and bring a winter jacket from where you are, unless you're from like Northern Europe or Russia or like other countries that have
really cold.
that have the same kind of weather. But otherwise, like maybe don't even bother to bring your winter coat from back home. Just get something good here because you'll need it.
What type of weather are we talking about? How cold does it get like here compared to Romania?
So in Romania, I would say the winter on average goes between like minus, or in the region that I'm from, and I'm from the south of Romania, from maybe around -5, -7. On very cold days, it goes to -10, but very cold and not too long, like a day here or there. But also in the winter, you'll often get actually like the +1, +2 degrees. So that's about the weather that I came from in the winter. And here, I don't even want to think about it. It's like -20 is like on a regular basis in January and February. It's like perfectly normal. It's every day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
And often less than that.
Yeah.
And with the wind factor too.
And the humidity. But also, like whether you move here or you come here like for a vacation, just make sure that you look into all the activities that you can do here, because there's a lot of them. Like I'm not even kidding. There are so many events going on like throughout January and February, the holiday season especially, that like there's a lot of things to do and it would be a shame to miss them. So look into that.
The conversation was mainly based on Montreal. Of course, there are places in Canada that are warmer than here, places that are colder than here. And so like this is really specific to the region that we're in. But it gives you an idea if you decide to travel to this country. Be prepared, buy your winter stuff here, and enjoy the winter activities. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and the notification bell to be notified whenever our next video drops, and have a nice day.